Hare Krishna. So today we are going to study the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita called Devotional Service. This is the smallest and the shortest chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, which has only 20 shlokas. This chapter is divided into 3 sections, as you can see. We'll move from one section to another. So first we'll begin. In 11th chapter, Lord Krishna has shown Virat Rupa to Arjuna. And after seeing Virat Rupa, Arjuna got afraid and he again requested Lord to come to his original form. Now, after ending the 11th chapter, this 12th chapter starts with a question by Arjuna. Arjuna is asking a very important question. He asks that which form of the Lord is highest. Now, he says whether your impersonal aspect or your personal aspect is the highest. Why Arjuna has asked such question? Because he is attached to the personal Tribhanga, a form of Lord Krishna which is bent from 3 places, from neck, from waist and from feet. Lord Krishna's this form of Shyama Sundara, Arjuna is attached to. So this question is asked by by Arjuna, and Krishna answers that the personal form of the Lord is indeed the highest. Now what is this? It is said in the Bhagavatam that the Supreme Absolute Truth is presented in 3 aspects. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yat jnanam adavyayam brahme iti paramatme iti bhagavan iti shabdyate. So there are 3 aspects of the Supreme: Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. I'll give you one simple example. In science, we study that the sunlight shows 2 aspects simultaneously. There are 2 natures of sunlight. One is called as the wave nature. If you remember the Einstein and Max Planck, who gave the Planck's constant, they discovered that the light shows wave nature. Waves means like when you throw one stone in the water and the ripples come out. In the same way, light shows wave nature. But later it was also discovered that the sunlight shows particle nature, means the energy packets which are commonly known as photons are also transmitted through sunlight. So sunlight simultaneously shows wave and particle nature. In the same way, Supreme Absolute Truth has simultaneously 3 aspects. Now what are these 3 aspects? I'll give you one simple example. Suppose there is a big mountain and you are seeing from a far off place, you can only see the mountain distinctly. This is like Brahman. When you go a little further, you can see that mountain has some big houses, some big trees, there is some way going, you can see more closer and you can see some more distinct features. When you actually start climbing the mountain, you see what type of trees are there, what type of birds are there, what type of wild animals are there, what type of people are there, and what are the different ways going. You see everything clearly. This is the Bhagavan aspect. In the same way, Brahman means all pervading. Like people say, in everything there is God. This is called as the Brahman aspect, the all pervading. Everything, matter or energy, everything is emanation from the Lord. This is Brahman. The second aspect is Paramatma. Paramatma means Lord resides in the heart of every living entity in the form of Paramatma. And third, the highest is Bhagavan. It means the Lord has a personal form and a personal planet in which he resides. So a Lord is a person. He has a personality. Now you may find many people or many religions in this world who say that God has no form or God is impersonal. Is that wrong? No. That is not wrong. That is one of the aspects which Supreme Absolute Truth shows, that is the impersonal Brahman aspect. But Lord has much higher aspect, that is Paramatma, and the highest is the personal form of the Lord, which is the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Now you see this chart of the universal form. This chart which you are seeing, this chart shows the whole creation as per the Vedas. Now if you see down, there is one material universe which is shown. So in one universe there are the controlling deities, and this is our earth, and from earth you can see there are higher planetary systems and there are lower planetary systems. This is one universe. And like that, as you can see, there are millions and trillions of universes which comprises this material world, which is the material ocean. In between, you can see in the white color is called the Brahma Jyoti, where above the Brahma Jyoti is the Kailash. Not this Kailash on the planet Earth, there is original Kailash, which is on planet Earth is the replica. And further if you see this, there are spiritual planets. There is Dwarka, Ayodhya, Vaikuntha planets, and the topmost is Golok Vrindavan. Now if you see from the top, Lord Krishna as a personal form has a personal abode called the Golok Vrindavan. That Lord Krishna expands in the form of Mahavishnu. As you can see, Mahavishnu is lying down, and from the pores of Mahavishnu, from the bodily pores, or another example is from his breathing, many universes come out. As you can see in the picture, many universes are coming out from the body of Mahavishnu, and in each universe Lord Vishnu again expands as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. So for each universe there is a controlling deity of Vishnu. Then from the navel of that Vishnu, Lord Brahma takes birth, and Brahma does the creation, and Lord Shiva takes birth. So that Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, we call generally the Trinity, they control one universe. Like there are millions of universes, each controlled by one Vishnu, who are all expansions of the Mahavishnu. So as per Vedas, this is the complete creation. Even modern science has accepted the multiverse theory, that there is not one universe, there are multiple universes, and they have also concluded that there is something called as antimatter world, which is explained in the Vedas as Paravyoma, or the spiritual world. So this is the abode of the Lord, and from as you can see, there are so many rays emanating from the body of Lord Krishna. These rays are called as Brahma Jyoti. This is the Brahman aspect of the Lord. So Lord has three aspects, and the highest is Bhagavan. And Lord Krishna answers that, "O Arjuna, you are attached to the Bhagavan aspect. There is no problem. This is the best." So this was the first section of the chapter 12. Now in the second section, Krishna explains the different levels what you can achieve in practicing the bhakti yoga. From top to down, he explains from shloka 8. Krishna says the highest is fixing your mind completely on Lord. Just fully engrossed 24/7, keeping Lord in your heart, you're giving your everything to the Lord is the highest. Now Krishna is giving and explaining that on what level you can show. So Krishna is explaining from top, what is the highest, what is second highest, third highest, next. Like that from 8 to 12 Krishna explains. 9th, Krishna says, if you cannot do this, perform regulated principles of bhakti yoga. It means under the guidance of a spiritual master, under the explanations of the Vedas, you perform regulated bhakti. If you don't have full attachment to the Lord, in a regulated way, you perform the principles of bhakti. That is the 9th. If you cannot do this, then 10th, Krishna says, work for me. You act in your life, you do some activities for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. That is, Krishna is telling next. Then you see in the purport, very beautiful line Prabhupada says in 10th shloka, every endeavor requires land capital organization, and there are many devotees who are engaged in the propagation of Krishna consciousness, they require help. The same work, if you perform and help the devotees, that is also a spiritual activity. Like we have many donors, many people, many professors who help those to help in college in the propagation of Krishna consciousness amongst the students, or there are people who help in by donating, or there are people who give help by physically doing some activity, by distributing books of Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-Gita. So this is what is working for the Lord. And if you are not able to do this also, Krishna says in 11th shloka, try to give up all results and be self-situated. That means you try to perform some charity, you try to perform some good pious activity. And in the 12th shloka, Krishna says, if you cannot do this also, then at least cultivate knowledge, cultivate good knowledge in life. Just for example, in our country, people serve country on different levels. For example, there are people who serve their country by having a feeling of patriotism. They feel for their country. They respect the national things of their country, like national anthem, national flag, national animal, and they feel proud to be an Indian. So they serve the country by their feelings, by being patriotic. Then there are next level, the people who earn and who come under the tax slab. They give tax to the government and they serve the country by paying taxes so that that money can be utilized in giving requirements to the society at large. So they serve their country by paying taxes. Then there is a higher category. There are people in military. And in military also there are many gradations. There are the lowest category of people, they are commonly known as the Jawans, the Subedars. No, the different categories, the non-officers who serve their country by holding a gun and standing at the borders for hours together. They serve their country that way. And in the higher than them, there are categories. There is colonel, there is brigadier, there is general, there is chief of the defense staff. Like that there are various categories. Now, the level at which you serve, you get the facilities by the government. Like common people get common facilities like water, drinking water, roads, street lights, electricity, that kind of services common people get. Those who join military, they get special facilities like canteen, store department, we call it CSD. They have special canteens in which tax-free things are available. Then if you are an officer, you will be provided with a car, you will be provided with a house. Then there are separate Kendriya Vidyalaya, there are separate schools, you will be provided with a special military bus, and as your level increases, the facilities increases. In the same way, the level at which we surrender to Lord Krishna, at that level Lord Krishna reciprocates. So the highest is dedicating yourself completely for the service of the Lord, and there are different categories, as you can see Krishna explained from 8th to 12th shloka. These are the different categories. Now you should see where best you can fit and try to increase your level. That will do good for you and your family and the whole society at large. So these are the different levels. Srila Prabhupada explains that devotees are compared to sharks. Sharks in the ocean. There are 3 special qualities a shark possesses. First, a shark never goes to the rivers, streams and small peripheries. The shark never go there. Second, the sharks live deep in the ocean. And third, the sharks never come under the net of a fisherman. And if at all they come also, they just bite it, they break apart and they run away. In the same way, devotees are compared to sharks. What are the rivers and the canals and the different streams? They are compared to the different aspects of Lord. the Brahman, Paramatma, and different aspects. They all, rivers and all, finally merge into the ocean. So the devotees, like sharks, never go into the rivers. In the same way, devotees are never interested in all these localized aspects or Brahman aspects. They are directly interested in the supreme aspect of the Lord, that is the personal form. Second, they live deep in the ocean, means the devotees are so deep in worshipping Lord Krishna, they have gone so deep in their bhakti that whatever is happening on the surface, like there will be some tsunami, there will be some torrential rains or high sunlight, or there is some ship traveling, nothing can disturb a shark who is deep in the water. In the same way, when a devotee is fully engrossed in the service of the Lord, no material calamities, nothing can disturb him. And third, the devotee never comes in the net of Maya, because Maya is energy of the Lord and a devotee is fully surrendered to the Lord. A devotee never comes in the net of Maya. Unfortunately, there are people who don't have understanding of this knowledge, who don't have understanding of the Vedas, and they concoct some different types of religion which are not authorized. A famous example is of a Dr. Frog. There were two friends, frogs, who lived in a small well. One of the frog visited Atlantic Ocean and came back to that well. And his friend asked, "Oh, you visited Atlantic Ocean?" He said, "Yeah, it was huge, vast amount of water." Then the friend frog asked, "Oh, how much big? Is it the twice the size of this well?" No, very big." "Okay, double, triple, 10 times. Come on, you are joking. It cannot be more than 10 times. No, it was much higher amount of water was present compared to that well." Then that frog started swelling his throat. Have you seen, no, frogs do trr and they swell their throat. So he started, "Oh, how big? This much big, this much big, this much." And they started swelling, his throat started swelling, and the throat burst and the frog died. So mundane materialistic people who have no idea of this world, who have no idea of God, are compared to Dr. Frog. They keep on mentally speculating. From their imperfect senses, they try to do research, and they may or may not reach conclusion, and then they end their valuable life and die. So all the research work is already done by great acharyas and is available in this book in the form of Bhagavad-Gita. So you need not do any research. All the research theses are already available. We just need to apply in our life and make our life successful. And now we move to the third section of the 12th chapter, the last section, in which Krishna explains what kind of people are dear to him. So there are many qualities which are described. As you can see in this presentation, the qualities are mentioned. In this regard, I want to narrate story of a devotee from Srimad Bhagavatam called Chitraketu. Once, Lord Shiva was sitting on Kailash along with Mother Parvati, and Mother Parvati was sitting very close to Lord Shiva, on the lap of Lord Shiva in fact. And there were many devotees like Narada Muni and other great sages were sitting, and Lord Shiva was imparting instructions on self-realization. When Chitraketu was passing by air, and Lord Shiva, a devotee of Lord, Chitraketu, devotee of Lord, so devotee friends. So Chitraketu, when he saw, oh my God, he just passed a comment on Lord Shiva. What comment he passed? Oh, Lord Shiva is talking about self-realization in front of great sages like Narada Muni, and Mother Parvati sitting on her lap. So, out of jolly relation between Shiva and Chitraketu, he just passed this comment. Lord Shiva didn't speak anything. Why? Because out of friendly relation, Shiva just smiled. But Mother Parvati, she became angry. And Mother Parvati immediately cursed Chitraketu that you will become demon in next life. Now you see the devotional attitude of Chitraketu. He immediately came down from the airplane, paid obeisances to Mother Parvati and begged forgiveness. Oh Mother Parvati, I made you angry. I'm really sorry. I accept your curse. If you want me to become a demon, so be it. Now you see the qualities which are mentioned in this last section of this chapter. Free from false ego, equal in happiness and distress, tolerant, satisfied, self-control, not disturbed by anxiety. So all these qualities are present in Chitraketu. Although he was cursed to become a demon in next life, Chitraketu is equipoised. So such is the quality of a devotee of the Lord. And these devotees are very dear to Lord Krishna. Another example from the Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu. As we know, Hiranyakashipu was such a big demon who wanted to kill his own son, and he tried all the ways. He tried to throw him from a hill, he put him in forest, he tried to get him killed by elephant, he put Prahlad Maharaj in boiling oil, he threw him amongst snakes who can bite, but nothing can deter Prahlad Maharaj from worshipping the Lord, and Prahlad Maharaj was equipoised. And Lord Narasimhadev actually protected, and Hiranyakashipu could not do anything in spite of trying everything. At the end, he even told his sister Holika, on what we celebrate Holi. Holika was given a boon that she will never get burnt by fire. So she took Prahlad Maharaj in her lap and sat in fire. But the opposite happened. Holika got burnt and Prahlad Maharaj was saved. So in whole scenario, Prahlad Maharaj was not at all disturbed. You see the qualities in this section? Equal to friends and enemies, in honor and dishonor. Chitraketu was dishonored, but he was equipoised. In heat and cold, in happiness and distress, for fame and infamy. Chitraketu was cursed in front of everyone. All the sages were present, but still Chitraketu was equipoised in such an infamy. So such is the qualities of devotee. So if we want to become dear to Lord Krishna, we have to acquire the same qualities which are mentioned here by Lord Krishna, which Chitraketu acquired, which Prahlad Maharaj acquired, and in that way Lord Narasimhadev became so obliged to Prahlad Maharaj that he personally came out of a pillar to protect Prahlad and killed Hiranyakashipu. I remember once I went with one of our devotees for a house program in Ahmedabad city. Ahmedabad being hometown of our Prime Minister. So we went to the brother of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He is the elder brother of Modi, and he is in very good terms with us, very good relation. So we went for performing some kirtan and some chanting and like this Bhagavad-Gita session at his house. So the devotee is very good relation with the brother of Modi. So we were just discussing that how often a Prime Minister calls here and how often you talk. Then he was telling it is somewhat sometimes rare because the Prime Minister is little detached from his family. So I got very excited. Oh, you're related to the Prime Minister? Can you talk to him now? So I told, oh yeah, we can call. Then I got very excited. I said, okay, please call him. Then actually he called the Prime Minister, and at the Prime Minister's office or someone picked up the call and they said, no, Prime Minister is busy. And then he said, I am his brother speaking. Oh, you are his brother? Please hold on, I'll just tell this. And then there were some conversations, and after 2 or 3 minutes, Prime Minister actually came on the call. Then he talked, how are you and how are things going on, and then he talked to all the family members, his children and all, everyone. They talked, and it went on for 15-20 minutes, and he picked up the phone. And the phone, they kept the phone back. While coming back, I was just realizing that to approach a Prime Minister of a country with 135 crore population is so difficult. You need to give so many applications, you need to cross so many levels, and if they think that it is important and urgent requirement for you to meet the Prime Minister, you may get an appointment for 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes like that. But if you have a relation with the Prime Minister, you are just a phone call away. Just see, in the same way, Lord Krishna may be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, head of everything, controlling the vast universes, the oceans, the sun, the moon, the vegetation, the life, the death and the birth of innumerable living entities. But if we develop relation with Lord, who is at gain? Lord Krishna is at gain? No. It is said by Brahma in his prayers, Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam. Crores and crores of cupids are flat by the beauty of Krishna. And millions of Lakshmis are serving Krishna. No, we are running behind one Lakshmi. People worship Lakshmi on Diwali, that let Lakshmi come to our house. But that same Lakshmi is worshipping Lord Krishna as a menial servant. That is Lord. So Lord Krishna is going to gain anything if we develop relation with him? No. Who is at gain? We will be at gain. If we have a relation with Lord, just imagine what kind of gain we can have by developing personal relation with the Supreme Proprietor of everything. And how to develop that relation is explained in the third section of this chapter. So from 13th shloka, Krishna explains what kind of people are dear to him. These are the wonderful purports and translations. I request you, don't miss any translation and read along with the purports. This is the shortest chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita. What kind of people are dear to Lord Krishna is explained in this series from 13th to 20th chapter. And if you see the last shloka, one who follows this path of devotional service, who engages himself with faith, making me the supreme goal, is very, very dear to me. This is what Krishna says. So if you worship Lord Krishna with full faith, if you surrender unto him, if you chant his holy names, that kind of a person becomes very dear to Lord. So this is the goal of our life, to become dear to Lord Krishna. And how to become dear is very clearly explained by Lord Krishna himself in this chapter. So I request you to please go through the chapter, read nicely. If you have any doubts, any queries, please approach us. We'll try to help you out. Okay? Thank you very much for listening me so patiently. Granthra Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna. Understand what you learned from this chapter by filling a simple form whose link is given in the description. It will make you eligible for receiving the certificate. You can also type all the questions which you have in the same form and we'll answer them through email. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss any updates.